Hey there, pixel artists. Alright, so I'm back with another video, and in this one I want to talk about the importance of keyframes. So let me just play this animation for you guys real quick. A lot of you seem to like this animation when I post it on Blue Sky, so I really appreciate that. But anyways, so yeah, he just does this jump slash and then he returns to his original position. But anyways, so I have his keyframes broken down here. So basically he just stands there and then he charges his sword, jumps into the air, and then he slams it. But the reason why I think the keyframes are very important to have before you start adding in extra frames is because they basically are going to keep your animation smooth and consistent looking with the proportions and the motion. So like if you were to try to do this straight ahead, right? Like he's gonna start here and then he's gonna end up like jumping and slamming his sword and like landing over here. If you were trying to do it straight ahead, it would be pretty difficult because you might have him like jump and then you might make him jump too high or like too far or whatever, and then like by the time he gets to the landing spot, it's just gonna be a garbage like jump motion that you want to avoid. So let me see. So like, this might look kind of nice, but then when he lands, it's like, yeah, what is that like? Yeah, so you want to avoid having too many frames early on and trying to do straight ahead. Like that's not what you do for this type of animation. Straight ahead does work for something like the fire, for example. Like right here, you can actually, there's no real need for keyframes. I don't even think there are keyframes necessarily for this fire animation. But like all these little blobs of smoke, you can actually just go frame by frame and just use like basic physics to make the smoke rise and then just shrink. So yeah, that's a little different. You don't need keyframes for that. But the jump motion, like basically this whole jump motion and the slash, yeah, you're gonna need that to serve as a guide when it comes to adding in your extra frames. So like, I like to just take my time with the keyframes first, make them look really, really good. And then once I have the keyframes like pretty polished, then I start adding in like one in between frame at a time. So like from here to here, that those are two good keyframes, but it's too snappy. So I'll just add a little, where is it? Right here, I think. Right here. Yeah, so I'll just add an extra frame in between. So now it's like a little more smoothness to the switch between the key poses. And then for the jump, that's too snappy also. So I'll just add another frame in between there as well. This one. Whoops, is that? Let me see. I feel like I accidentally moved it like too high. Yeah, okay, I didn't fix it. But let me just undo this real quick. Yeah, okay, so that's looking smooth again. So yeah, so let me see, where is it? Yeah, so like once I have these two frames here, I'll add this frame here in between and then just take my time with it. Make sure it looks pretty polished. And then before he lands, same thing, just add more frames. Yeah, and I basically just keep doing that until the animation is finished. So yeah, that's the basic idea why I think keyframes kind of take priority before adding in extra frames. They just keep your character proportions or whatever it is you're animating. It just keeps the proportions consistent because you can like flip between the key frames and poses, and then just double check with your in betweens just to make sure that the proportions stay consistent, and then as well as the motion. So that's it. Thanks for listening.